Hello everyone. Another dominant performance from Australia, like a very good one because the fourth test match they had lost. Fifth they won. Smith was the captain. They won the Ashes by 4-1. After 2002-3, Australia won a Ashes by 4-1. Earlier in the last three times in 2013-14 they won by 5-0, 17-18 they won by 4-0, 20 and 22 they won by 4-0. Dominant display. Like the wait continues for England to win an Ashes in Australia after 2010. Baz is under a lot of scrutiny now. So we will discuss about the fifth test match and also about the entire whole Ashes series as well. So first of all, Ayan, how do you see England's performance? The performance improved, we can see throughout the series, but they lost. Like they dropped more than 20 catches throughout the series. I'm seeing also, the likes of Stokes and Root couldn't perform in unison. Root performed in two test matches, they performed a little bit well. It was like Root's team. Stokes at number six doesn't make that much, what to say, not sense, but it takes a lot of time to settle and then wickets start to fall. Like a lot of what you call restructuring, a complete revamp is around the corner for England, I guess, because ECB is demanding now, not demanding, they've started the complete thorough checkup of this England cricket team culture and all the things. Harry Brooks, that barn incident also has come up in New Zealand. I don't know how, just Telegraph, no one reported it. The ECB said we kept it confidential. Like 30,000 pounds, something like that. The fine was given to Harry Brook, who argued with the bouncer. I mean, kya ho raha hai? I mean, this is not acceptable at all. Like the next superstar of England cricket team just fighting. Like drinking has become such a common norm, right? Like let's have a drink, we'll chat. Let's have a beer. Like what is happening? Like you celebrate, you don't celebrate before winning. England's culture is different a lot. What is it?
England, whenever think about England, one thing comes to mind. Lots of words, but no performance. That is England for you in a nutshell. I'll be very honest with you. Lots of words, but no performance. And that has been the story for England for quite a long time. I mean, this baseball and everything, it works against weaker teams, but it doesn't work against teams like Australia or even India when they played against India. I mean, look at Baz McCullum's record as coach. We talk about Baz McCullum this, Baz McCullum that. He is yet to win a series against India and Australia, whether home or away. Yes, you might say, oh, we have drawn series against India, we have drawn series against Australia. But home में 2-2 draw करके क्या फायदा? What is the use of drawing a series at home? I don't get it. Anyway, coming back to this series, and if you look at this particular match, yes, England's performance, as you said, improved. But they were good in patches, but they were not consistent enough to be good. Whenever game was on the line, the big moments came, Australia were the ones that pounced on it. And England either dropped catches or made errors, game awareness errors. We saw that in Adelaide. We saw that here in Sydney. We have seen that in the previous test matches also. I think Melbourne was a lottery because Melbourne was such a spicy pitch that the bowling conditions were suitable for England to bowl first, and that's why they got advantage. And Australia's batting flopped, and that's why they got that victory, and they avoided the whitewash. And maybe by avoiding the whitewash, they may have saved Brendan McCullum's job. Although this HCB investigation has now started. Okay. Now, you spoke about the catches being dropped. I mean, they dropped 19 or 20 catches in this Ashes series. If I'll take you back to the Anderson Tendulkar Trophy, where the series finished 2-2, there also England dropped 18 or 19 catches. There, why it finished 2-2? Because India matched them by dropping 18 or 19 catches. Here, Australia against England, what happened was England dropped 18-19 catches. Australia may have dropped 5 to 10 catches. So that was the big difference. And that's why Australia went on to win the series 4-1. Because you can't drop catches and get away against Australia. You might get away against other teams, but not against Australia. So saying so, I mean, Ben used to talk about Joe Root. Joe Root's 200s came on feather beds, flat pitches. Gabba Brisbane was a good pitch. He scored 100, and whenever he scored 100, England made 350 or 380, but Australia went on to make over 500. Whether you see at the Gabba, and then he had over 550 suddenly they made with Travis Head. What a player Travis Head is. I mean, almost a player of the series award performance, but he lost out to Mitchell Starc. Player of the match performance. I mean, 300s in this series, over 600 runs. And then Steve Smith getting 100 at the SCG was tremendous. So Australia got everything, I mean, ticked all the right boxes, and England have a lot of thinking to do. As far as this cycle is concerned, they can only salvage it. Just like I spoke about India a long time ago, WTC final is out of question for England now. They can salvage it. They have got 3 tests against, I think, against New Zealand and 3 tests against Pakistan, to both home series. They can salvage it by maybe winning all 6 or maybe winning 4 or 5 of them. But the WTC final is just because they're languishing in 7th place with 31% or something. Whereas, I mean, Australia languishing at the, I mean, at the top of the table, ruling the roost at the moment. So, I mean, if you look at it, England and this drinking thing, it is just not acceptable, as you said. Harry Brook, I mean, it's their culture is that we'll drink, we'll do whatever we want, nobody cares. We are English cricket, we are the inventors of the game, we can do anything we want. That's their attitude. You can't help it. I mean, but yeah, Harry Brook got for warning, and I have been told it's the last warning. If he completes, does something similar, there might be serious repercussions that might come his way. And he's apologized also, supposedly. So,
Yeah, and
yeah,
also
so that
fine as well. Fine as well,
yeah,
both
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
things.
yeah. It's just not acceptable in my view. So all in all, good series. It was a good test match, 5 day, good pitch. No problem, no complaints about the pitch by anybody. A perfect pitch. And Bu Webster with spin bowling. That was a revelation for us. He can bowl spin. He turned the
Yeah,
game around. Yeah, so
yeah.
it was great to see this game. But Australia once again played the key moments better, and that's why they won. It was a good victory. I won't say a dominant victory because 5 wicket victory chasing 160 shows that England had the chances, and maybe if the lead was say 200, 220, maybe Australia could have faltered. But
Yeah,
Australia
300 could
won,
have
and the
been.
result matters. 4-1 is the big margin in any series, especially in this marquee series. And Australia will take it. If you would have asked Australia at the start of the series 4-1, they would have said, "Thank you very much. We'll take it. No issues."
Yes,
And
and we
so
should
they,
not forget that Pat Cummins wasn't there for 4 test
no.
matches. Josh Hazlewood for 5. Another Leon played only 2 and bowled in only 1 match, the third match. So the bench strength is good, but Todd Murphy will be very sad. Like after seeing Bu Webster turning the ball, such a drastic one, taking wickets and everything. They made a mistake by dropping Todd Murphy. But they couldn't drop P. Webster as well. You should not forget he scored runs, huh? Because see, Smith scored more than 100, but that partnership, if the lead could have been only 100 or 120 or less than that, England could have got 300 target. But now, I guess like Khwaja retiring, it's not at all a bad idea to play both Webster and Cameron Green. You get both the options: spin bowling all rounder, fast bowling all rounder. Like it's a win-win situation for Australia. And yes, Travis Head deserved to be the player of the match. But I think if you remember, Ayan, in 2013-14, Brad Haddin was also the player of the series of that Ashes. He scored a lot of runs when the team was in crisis, early or top order collapse. But Mitchell Johnson took this more than 20 wickets. I don't remember the exact. So he got one. So a similar kind of series happened for Australia, like a top order player who wasn't a top order, he was a middle order number 5, number 6 player, all of a sudden promotion, now looking a complete opener, like a new revolution for Australia, because Travis Head showed a lot of temperament throughout this test series. It's a good thing, but only time will tell if he can succeed in Australia, South Africa, which is their away tour in September, October. It has 3 test matches. It will have to be seen how it goes at. But we'll now talk about Travis Head only. So Harsha, Australia's completely clinical performance we can see. Like no wonders they take Test cricket so seriously. Only 6 state teams they have. England have 18 to 19 state teams. They have a lot of talent as compared to Australia. But like I remember Justin Langer saying one thing: we are made for these moments, crunch moments. We have the fitness, we have the what you call the courage to think out of the box, because throughout the series there have been n instances England was in a good position but they faltered, as Ian said. But Australia, like, they are made for this, like the emperors of the cricket, we can officially say, like, means they're dominating, and they will dominate along, because there's only one king of cricket, and that's Australia. Unless until some other comes, we'll talk it later. Anup sir, I can see you're not agreeing with me. So Harsha, what do you think? Like Travis Head's promotion, it did wonders, and also Steven Smith shining at the perfect time, 37 test centuries. You never know, like he can get into the 40 club.
Yeah, basically, I have to start with one thing. Like, the thing is that England have cricketed the cricket. they have brought in a revolutionary cricket into the world. Like there is a sports called cricket, so they have invented them and they have played with an Australia. But the thing we have to see that Australia is a country where it dominates in every sport, not only in cricket. We can see in football, baseball, and everything, rugby, in everything. Australia is one of the best country of the sports who can dominate in every sport. And coming to the cricket. Australia has been very dominating team. Like we can see ODI and T20 and Test. And as seeing the Ashes series, first thing the good thing that they did is taking Travis to the opening spot with Osman Kawajia, and that was a very good thinking of head coach and the team captain. So that made Australia playing dominating cricket on England, and that made an good thing so that they goes to like a dominating position over the England and they played very good cricket comparing to England. Just England has been depending on baseball and one thing and they're not. The main thing is number three spot was not good. Now we can see in fourth test and fifth test like Jock Bethel has played very good cricket comparing to Oli Pope. Oli Pope is not a one. He's one of like he's a good cricketer but not good as previous Alastair Cook and everything compared to them is not that much too good. He's also like expert Prithvi Shah. We can say that example like expert Prithvi Shah. I think yeah, that's what. So basically, Australia is now dominating in every sports.
Yeah, like it's about the fitness which they give so much utmost importance. Like it's the peculiarity of that. Like a batter is not a batter. He becomes a fast bowling all-rounder, not a spin bowling all-rounder. No, no. Bew Webster, if you look at Bew, he bowled once, I remember in Sri Lanka that Muralidharan won trophy. So he got a couple of wickets or something. So that was another dimension. You want a three-dimensional player and that's Australia for you, like because these Western countries they focus a lot in Australia is no different to that. So now we will get back to our which we often say to our head coach who is still at Sydney Cricket Ground. So you can relax now. The Test matches got over. Australia got that big earn trophy by Pat Cummins and Stephen Smith. But we will talk a little bit about England as well. Joe Root 41 Test match runs, like only 11, 10 behind. To touch Sachin Tendulkar's 51 and 11 to become the only and only 52 test match runs and 2000 test runs. Like England has a very good summer if you look at. See, New Zealand will give a tough competition. They might lose it by 1-2 or 1 all it may be, but Pakistan is an easy one. So Bahad's position is secured, right? Because Stokes has openly said like I am going to back मैकलम no matter what happens. It's simple. मैं काम करूंगा तो इसी के साथ करूंगा नहीं तो मैं रिटायरमेंट ले रहा like but indirectly it's a threat like I want this coach or you see another captain. What is it?
Yeah, some sort like that. But yeah, it's always seen like captain and coach, they decide to go well along with each other, like comfortable in each other's arm. Like in India also, we have seen Virat Kohli was comfortable with Ravi Shastri. He didn't like Anil Tumble, but he was comfortable with Ravi Shastri. Or for that matter, Rahul Dravid and Rohit Sharma went very well as a coach and captain. So that's a camaraderie between the coach and the captain. So that's another thing. Saying about the series, yes, Australia dominated the whole series. At one moment, we all were speculating that Australia will win this series 5-0 due to the inlands form of playing cricket that is called we call as a baseball, that the uncertainty of inland staying on the trees for a longer time. So that was a very uncertain. And when it was 3-0 after three tests, it was clear that everyone were clear that Australia were gonna went going ahead and winning the series 5-0, but an aberration happened at Melbourne pitch. It turned out to be something very spicy for the both the teams, and Australia eventually lost one match. So England would be, and which youth and says saved Baz Mathalam's job like teeth. We at least won one test in Australia after 2011. So that's what was the feeling all around after the fourth test in Australia, that England have won, and saying so. Repercussions will happen. There will be changes in the team because now Jacob Bethel has proven himself as a number three batter. And mind you, in the second innings, Jacob Bethel's strike rate and average is much better than the first innings because all his highest scores came in the second innings of the match, not in the first innings. So he is some kind of new talent, 23-year-old, a new youngster which will be for a longer run. As Olipo Nitin Adin's team, he started well in the Ashes series, got 240s in the first two innings at the opening test, but somewhat he faltered and everyone thought that he was not out of touch only. The same about Ben Duckett. He only got 40 odd runs in the final test. Rest all the matches he didn't even get a start. Jack Crowley was good in two matches, 180 odd, 170 odd. But these runs needs to be converted into bigger hundreds if you want to succeed in Australia. Because the key to win in Australia is like you when you tire the Australian bowlers, you have the advantage. And England had never at the moment seemed like tiring the Australian bowlers. Yes, they had their moments like 211 for four on the first rainy day in Sydney. That was when they were 54-3, and then a partnership then between Joe Root and Harry Brook. But Harry Brook also a new promise in his highest score here was around 85. So he never went on to made a beat 100. Root, he got a monkey off his back, 200s for him, 160, but that 160 would have been well been 200. But that also Root didn't have that in mind. Yes, 41 hundreds he has 10 more hundreds to go. He will or will not, that will be dependent on his total form only over the next 2 years because he's still young. So he can store 2000 runs over next 2 years and break Sachin Tendulkar's test record. But individual records are another things in cricket. What is your team doing when you store so much tons of runs? That also matters the most because at the moment, what England will say, okay, this SS series will be us. Now their next focus will not be on Pakistan series or New Zealand. Their focus will be on the one this Ashes will next 2027 Ashes is at home. We will beat them at home. So England will directly now concentrate on 2027, 28 Ashes. That's the mindset which England team carries. About Australia, as we said, Travis said, yes, promoted as the opener. He scored three centuries, 609 runs, and as you mentioned, Brad Haddin. Alex Terry was the wicket keeper over here. He contributed at the lower order when the top order fell because Steven Smith, yeah, although he got a century, 37th one is the last test match. He was not in complete form on overall in the test series, as we say. He only had one century and some 150 I guess in the test whole test. Same with Marnus Labuschagne. He got good starts, but he only had two half centuries. So Australian batting also was revolving totally around Travis Head, who had three centuries, all three in alternate tests: first test match, third test match, and fifth test match. And another one on the their bowling lineup because Cameron Green, yeah, the highest paid now in white ball cricket, circuit in the domestic circuit. But as a batter, he literally failed in all the matches. So not a significant score by Cameron Green. And bowling, it was okay, one or two wickets here and there. When bowling Thrush was taken over by Mitchell Starc, player of the series, 31 wickets. That's a good amount of workload for Mitchell Stark. Anyways, he doesn't play white ball T20 nowadays. So 31 wickets in 31 wickets in five tests in Ashes and two half centuries, which all-round performance made him earn player of the series. Travis said lost to him because he was only working as a batter. But still now Australia has their own problems because Jake Weatherald, though he was opening the opening in test matches, he didn't look as fluent as Travis said because Travis said used to take the pressure off him scoring at a faster pace. Similarly, their middle orders have some issues like Usman Khwaja has gone. But now who knows? Bew Webster, in the last match he got a chance, but then again Steve Smith at the toss was unhappy where they actually wanted to play Todd Murphy in the playing 11. But Bew Webster eventually got his chance due to the conditions above because it was gloomy. That's why they decided to go against Todd Murphy, who unfortunately missed out on the last match, and Bew Webster got the chance. And he basically is a fast bowling all rounder. He's not a spin bowling all-rounder. Here, in due to the conditions, he bowled spin. He is actually Bew Webster is a fast ball because I remember against India in one of the test matches he bowled medium pace. So he is a good utility player, scored 71 odd runs, had a partnership with Steven Smith, which actually took the lead far away from England. And England in the second innings looked little scratchy. Root then after 160 couldn't continue his form, got out on 6 runs. Then Harry Brook got start every time in the second innings too. He got 45, had a partnership with Jacob Bethel, but couldn't continue on. Lon Jamie Smith, another good prospect, had 400 plus runs against India, 445 to be exact. But against Australia, he had good 60s and 40s. But England losing wickets at crucial juncture really helped him. And their off-field controversy, that nothing new because it's in their tradition. In olden days, also, we have news like Ben Stokes fighting in a bar. Ben Stokes even got suspended. So, inland plane players meeting with an accident on the road, involved in a fight, brawl. So, it's not a new thing which Harry Brook did. It's in their culture and it happened. So, and he has been reprimanded, as Ian mentioned. So, overall, England really need to think about their strategy about playing, how they are going to approach test match from here. Because baseball is not a way to play any test match. See, you have 5 days to play a test match. Every session matters. A match can turn on his head on any session, any moment. One bad hour of play can turn the match on his head. So that exactly happened in this Ashes. England were very confident that they will come to Australia. This Australia team is little weak without Pat Cummins and Joe Hazelwood for that matter. But Australia said no matter. We are in our own condition. We know our condition much better than you. So we will show you who is the boss. And they actually bossed the series 4-1. So great win for Australia now over to the white ball series because now next 6 to 7 months, the major teams are not playing any cricket until Pakistan takes on Bangladesh. So major teams are not playing any red ball cricket until August, as India, Sri Lanka would be in August. So after that, only an Australia and other series would be after that only. So Australia, South Africa, and exact. So let's see how red ball and WTC those ahead from here, and WTC now will become very interesting because if New Zealand wins versus England, they directly will go to the top of WTC table. Australia at right now at the top of the table. So it's really a good WTC cycle to look forward to. But at the moment, red ball cricket is over for few months now. Now over to only T20, white ball, leagues and everything. So that's my take on the entire series.
Yes, England played in patches, as Anne said, but they will regret this for a long time because Root is sounding a bit optimistic that he might play the next Ashes in Australia, which in 2029. He will be 39, but I don't think because England cricketers don't play that long. James Anderson was an exception. He had that commitment, dedication, fast bowler. But even Alistair Cook also did at 35. Even Steven Smith has said that we want to win the Ashes in England in 2027. Look, that 2027 Ashes will be important for Australia, particularly because just before that, most likely they will play the final of WTC. They're at number one. They will have to lose a lot of matches to not qualify for the final. So they are ready to play a hat trick of WTC finals at England. So it's a good thing for Australian cricket, but Australia, like Usman Khawaja retired and Josh Inglis, the door is open for Josh Inglis. So, Ayan, we will conclude it by our final statement. Do you think like this Australian team can win in South Africa because that's their major assignment? If you look at the Western countries, because we know what happened in 2018. They won the first test match under Steve Smith's captaincy, but then the entire ball tampering saga, sledging, fighting, Quinton de Kock, David Warner, a lot of war happened throughout that series, AB de Villiers and all these things. Like I'm asking you this why because I just dig a lot about Australia South Africa series, especially in South Africa. Whenever South Africa wins, no, sorry, Australia wins a Test series in South Africa, they win the World Cup. 2014 they won by 2-1 when Michael Clark was the captain. In 2012, in 2018-19 they didn't won. And if you look at the earlier in 2012-13, again they won, Australia and South Africa. It's connecting one. See, South Africa is the host for the ODI World Cup 2027 also. Just after 1 year they'll play the World Cup. This is a huge moment for Australia. They have got the purple patch, a kind of, not the exact purple patch, but do you see Australia competing and winning in South Africa? Because Bangladesh is not going to give them challenge at all, right? Which is in August. That two test matches it will be only there, and also their venues will be, I guess, Darwin or something where the weather will be good. But that series will be important, like, because a lot of scars, a lot of I should not take that word, not bloodshed, not at all. A lot of fighting was happened, and Rabada is still there. So, what do you think? Like this Australian team, if they conquer South Africa, they again have conquered world cricket again. What is it?
Yes, the South Africa series will be the big one for Australia because see what they've done by this winning against West Indies 3-0 and against England 4-1. They've got a bit of a cushion, and now before playing South Africa, they've got two tests against Bangladesh. So even if I'm expecting them to win both of that, so if that happens, so they'll get a cushion. So in case something goes wrong in South Africa, they still have matches to cover up and come back in the subsequent series. I think they host New Zealand before they go to India for the Border Gavaskar Trophy. Now the South Africa series is a big important assignment away from home. I don't know. It's very, very early to say whether they will win in South Africa, but they will definitely compete. There's no doubt about it. South Africa Australia will be a hard-fought series, but South Africa, if there is a team that can really give tough fight to Australia, and if Temba Bavuma plays, if he is fit and knowing his test record, he can trouble the Aussies. There's no doubt about it. So I am not going to predict anything at the moment because that series is in September, October. Very long time to go. But I think if everybody is fit, and Australia need to sort out a few issues like the batting order and everything, like Jake Weatherall, is he your long-term opening partner, opening batsman, everything? Everything needs to be sorted out. If everything is sorted out, they will compete, but I don't know whether it'll win the series. Too early to say. And all the main players have to be fit. See, they got away without Hazelwood, without Cummins, without Lyon. They got away with it in Australia. Whether they'll get away with it in South Africa is a big question. So they need the big players to be fit also. So all these takes away, I think it'll be 3 test matches there. I think South Africa, the home team, so I'll give them the slight edge, but you never know. I mean, anything can happen.
Yeah.
So let's see. It's too early to say.
Yeah, let's see how it goes ahead. Like because see, it will sound a bit like an Australian mindset, Aussie mindset, which I often say. It's quite clear cut. Whenever Australia wins Ashes in Australia and wins a Test series in South Africa, they win the World Cup. So one box is ticked. If they tick the another box, then we have the 7th ODI World Cup. It's my early prediction. Like they will win it because South Africa is a very good favorite hunting place for Australia in 2003 ODI World Cup. You never know. It might happen again 2027. Everyone is disagreeing with me. I can understand. A lot of Indian cricket team fans are there in the video, Harsha, Anup sir, and our Ayan. But yes, but Australia should be happy. Pat Cummins, just one test match as a captain, but Pat Stainsman did the job. I think they might try Josh Inglis at the opening position and say, Witherall, you take a break because I think their Sheffield Shield is still going on. They will see how Witherall performs for 2 to 3 matches. So Josh Inglis is there because he loves to play at the top of the order. Like 2 explosive opening batters will be there, Inglis and Travis Head. But they will chop and change. They have time. Bangladesh is the next, and we have the T20 World Cup. We are going to cover that. And yes, we are also covering Pakistan versus Sri Lanka on the website. So tune into it. And also ODI series will be covered of New Zealand versus India. In India and T20 also. A bumper season coming up, 6 to 7 months. Don't leave our channel and also website. So thank you everyone. Thank you, Ayan. And thank you, Anup sir. And thank you, Harsha. Harsha, I guess is ready making notes for 2027 Ashes. We have time. Don't think too much ahead. Don't be the next Stokes. There's no point in so much manifesting of next 2 to 4 years. That doesn't make any I won't say that word. So let's see how it goes ahead. So thank you everyone. It's past midnight in Indian Standard Time. We will continue our analysis and also our fun and banter with everyone here. So thank you everyone. Bye.
And